Who do you think might be the king of selfies? Maybe your neighbor or colleague who posts a dozen new photos to their feed every day. Not so fast. A few years ago, this title went to the Curiosity rover. It masterfully produces panoramic selfies on Mars. Thanks to the talents of this unusual photojournalist, we now have many interesting pictures from a world where the human foot has never stepped. Sojourner, which landed on Mars in 1997. It weighed about 10 kilograms or 22 pounds, a mere crumb. But it had real wheels, and it could overcome obstacles up to 20 centimeters or 7.9 inches high, and climb slopes up to 45 degrees. Compared to earlier models of Mars rovers, this was a breakthrough in engineering. Instead of wheels, previous rovers that failed to conquer the planet had skis. Scientists expected that on skis, the rover would be able to easily move along any surface. After all, data on Martian soil didn't exist yet. But honestly, the idea was mediocre. What else was available to the first conqueror of Mars? It had a platform with a solar battery providing energy to the rover and 3 radioisotope heater units. These were designed to maintain the temperature in the electronics unit. The rover itself didn't transmit signals to Earth. To do this, it had a base station with an antenna and a very modest range, only 500 meters or 1,640 feet. Even then, the rover was equipped with cameras, and to study the soil of the planet, it had a spectrometer. Do you want to see the first photo from the surface of Mars? Here it is. You'll laugh, but this pioneer didn't travel more than 100 meters or 330 feet in 85 days. But this distance was enough for some amazing discoveries. The main thing it was able to determine is that at one time, Mars was warm enough to support liquid water. The little rover fulfilled its mission and retired into a well-deserved rest. The following rovers didn't land on the red planet until almost 7 years later. These were just 2 rovers sent to Mars about a month apart from each other. The Spirit and Opportunity devices significantly surpassed their predecessor in both weight and capabilities. In order to smoothly land rovers weighing 185 kilograms, that's 408 pounds, the engineers had to customize a parachute along with airbags for them. With these new devices, scientists expected a breakthrough in the geological exploration of Mars. Therefore, the rovers were equipped with 3 spectrometers, a rock abrasion tool, and a magnet for collecting magnetic dust particles. Analysis of the soil of the red planet confirmed scientists' hypotheses about the existence of water here in the past. The second-generation Mars rovers, like their predecessor, had solar panels, but they were more powerful. And in addition to radioisotope heaters, there were electric ones. They were used to heat the indoor unit with electronics. As for controlling the rover as a whole, robots are quite autonomous. You might think that they're controlled remotely in real time, but no, that's not the case. A signal from Mars needs about 4 to 24 minutes to reach the Earth. Therefore, in online mode, the devices wouldn't even last a couple of minutes. Because of the signal delay, they could, for example, travel off course and get stuck in the ground. For this reason, every day before starting work, rovers receive a daily schedule from the Earth. Take a panoramic picture of an object, take a sample and analyze the soil, drive to some rocks. You might be surprised, but they even have an onboard alarm clock that wakes the equipment up early in the morning. Having received the task, the rovers plot the route to point B themselves. In this, they're helped by cameras, navigational ones with a wide viewing angle, and hazard avoidance cameras. Having completed their work, rovers rush to transmit data to Earth. Around Mars, special orbiting satellites constantly rotate. Through these, a communications session with the engineers takes place. The results obtained form the basis of the rover's plan for the next day. But back to our twins. These nimble rovers worked much longer than the planned 90 days. Their mission lasted a total of 15 years and ended only at the beginning of 2019. At that time, the Curiosity rover was already operating on the red planet. It can surely be called a giant among such devices. Its weight is 899 kilograms. That's 1,982 pounds. In order to lower it to the surface of Mars, engineers had to come up with a technology called the Sky Crane System. The car-sized machine landed gently on its wheels, suspended by nylon tethers. This third-generation rover was not equipped with solar panels. Instead, the rover has a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, or RTG, running almost on perfect fuel, plutonium-238. Its minimum service life is 14 years. Therefore, now the rover's work no longer depends on the time of day nor weather, as was the case with previous generations of Mars rovers. As for the insides of the rover, it's a real autonomous scientific laboratory. Its many cameras, spectrometers, augers, and microscopes wouldn't surprise anyone. But its ChemCam is a curious little thing. It's an infrared laser that can vaporize rock and analyze the spectrum of emitted light. The rover still has a lot of work to do, but soon it'll be joined by its almost complete twin, the Perseverance rover. Its landing is scheduled for February 2021. It will descend to the surface of Mars with modified wheels and an updated set of tools and a sampling system. But that's not the main point. For the first time, an unmanned aerial vehicle will be sent to the red planet together with a rover. This will be the Ingenuity helicopter. A device weighing less than 2 kilograms or 4 pounds is more like a compact drone. But despite its size, it has an important mission: to study the atmosphere of the planet. This is necessary so that in the future, more powerful helicopters can be sent here for aerial reconnaissance of Mars. Mars rovers have made a lot of discoveries, but it has cost humans a lot of effort. For a long time, Mars was extremely unfriendly to any device that approached it. Of the 56 attempts to conquer the red planet, only 26 have been successful. Probes and rovers have crashed on the hard surface of Mars or flown past it. It took engineers years to perfect the technology. But even after landing on the planet, still almost anything can happen. The Sojourner rover, for example, could still be traversing Martian soil, but its substation failed and stopped its mission. The twins, Spirit and Opportunity, went into hibernation for a long time due to dust storms because their solar panels couldn't generate enough power to work. Later, the developers of the rovers admitted that the devices weren't designed for such weather conditions. On the current conqueror of Mars, the Curiosity rover, its weak point is its wheels. They already have damage and scuffs, and this can't be fixed from here on Earth. And the mission ExoMars, scheduled for 2022, is generally shrouded in mystery. Initially, the lander crashed on the hard surface of Mars, which itself was supposed to lower a rover to the surface later on. Then, during testing on Earth, the parachute system began to fail. Now, scientists are working on the development of new research robots. They can fold and unfold like origami figures and pass through areas ordinary rovers can't. It turns out that in a couple of years, the number of Mars explorers will have dramatically increased. I believe that with such a well-coordinated team, they'll definitely find traces of life.